All right, we are back.
Hey!
Apologies, I had to take a piss and also grab a new beer and all that. And I figured we would break it up to the main card. So,
yeah.
So, shouts to Common Dapper, who better be drinking in the chat. What are you doing, Common Dapper?
You just texted me again. I know you're trying to. All right, he's here, motherfucker.
That's right. Hey, Kyle, what you drinking with that tequila?
Yeah, go ahead and.
Or what you smoking?
We'll have this up for now for a second.
We will, although we're going to go ahead and jump into this card, but I'll pull it back up.
Sure.
So we're going to get into the UFC 232 main card. I figured we would break it up, so mainly so we can go take a piss break and I can feel less like death. But we're going to get into this. I'm fingers crossed all these fights still happen tomorrow. I haven't looked at Twitter, which I should have done on the break. Hopefully nothing is falling out yet.
That's a very good point. And yeah, let's just get into.
We're just gonna pretend like it's still happening, so like most MMA podcasts did this week.
It's at 145 pounds. It's a featherweight bout.
Yep.
We have American fighter Chad Mendes, who has a record of 18 wins, 4 losses. He's from Team Alpha Male. He spent 2 years off a couple years ago because I don't want to say because of steroids, but let's just say he has psoriasis, which is basically an advanced form of eczema.
Right.
And he took a skin steroid. Yeah. I'll say this.
Which also did not have the thing he popped for in it.
I have eczema, and I've told you this.
Right. They do put steroids
I have a steroid cream that I take right now. I have breakouts right now. Like, if I put my steroid cream on, I would test positive.
100%. But not for the thing he tested positive for.
He tested positive.
It's a whole different drug.
Because psoriasis is an advanced form. I can't speak for what he tested positive for because I don't have his conditions. I'm not at liberty to say, oh, he took steroids because now some or kind of like you jump the gun. Oh, well, Chad Mendes clearly took steroids.
I mean, everybody's on steroids, dog.
Don't get me wrong.
DC is the only person I believe in the sport. DC and Dominic Cruz because they are always injured, and I'll probably take Kane also. I'll say those three because they're always injured and they're always
or Habib. Habib. I don't know. Habib is kind of, and Tony Ferguson. There's no way Tony Ferguson is on steroids. Fuck no. There's no fucking way.
Well, I mean,
I would bet. Well,
everybody's on steroids.
Yeah, but no. I would say right now, if you say who is never on steroids,
Diaz brothers, number one.
No. Be Diaz brothers,
Daniel Cormier,
Dominic Cruz, and Tony Ferguson. Sorry, and GSP. Well,
no, he's towards the bottom of my list. Yeah, people are never on steroids.
You're kind of right. And I like GSP a lot.
Kyle said something and took it away. He said his money was on somebody and then he bailed on it. So I'm going to go with the opposite of that person.
Clearly you're trying to go for Jones, Kyle.
I think he was going for Douglas Silva de Andrade based on the comment, but I'm not positive. Anyway, so Chad Money Mendes coming off the win over Miles Jury in his return fight.
A very impressive win, by the way.
True, but in an advantageous style matchup. And he's fighting against Alexander Volkanovski.
True, style match-wise, I think this could be close to the people.
It's a tough style matchup for Volkanovski.
Yeah,
who is mostly known for wrestling and dominating from top.
They're both the same height. Both basically have the same build. I'd say this is a little more stockier.
Yeah, for sure.
Probably carries a little more weight. Has Volkanovski ever lost? Let's see the record.
Way back in the day, Corey Nelson in Australian FC. But he has a ton of wins. He also has been on a crazy run. Although, he does have the win over Mizuta Hirota and Yusuke Kasuya, which are pretty solid wins back in the day. Shane Young and Jeremy Kennedy, good wins, but he won them decisively, which I feel like he should have. And then the Darren Elkins win is really a stamp that he put on that run. Yeah,
Chad Mendes' teammate. Chad Mendes lost him his home. He came back from his suspension. He dispatched Miles Jury, San Diego Alliance fighter.
Off and on. He's been in Arizona
but he's
a lot,
back.
too. He's been at the lab. But before that, his 3 losses previous, he had the loss to Frank Yeager, the loss to Conor McGregor, the win over Ricardo Lamas, and the loss to Jose Aldo.
Those 4 fucking fight.
Yeah, that's
Fuck.
very, very, very top cream of the crop kind of dude.
Shit.
And then before then, he had wins over Nick Lentz, Jaron Elkins, Clay Guida, Yasin Meza, Cody McKenzie. His other loss before that was Jose Aldo, where he killed him. So,
yeah,
man, it is hard to. So I'm not picking Chad Mendes in this fight, but I feel like I'm doing it incorrectly by saying that.
I'll say this. I can justify picking Volkanovski in this by decision.
How so?
Based on his fight against Elkins, who's similar in Mendes in their grappling type, kind of. Mendes is Mendes is more dangerous on the feet as far as the inside boxing. I like him as far as his hooks, especially when he's against Edgar. You know, Edgar did not come out.
Edgar murdered him.
I like Mendes in this fight.
I think that's a smart pick.
And I'm going with the smart pick. I'm not necessarily too confident because part of me kind of thinks Volkanovski might take this.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest. But I do like Mendes in this. I'm going with a smart pick. I've got Mendes via decision. I think this should be mostly a clinch fest. They're going to be grappling against each other against the fence, beside each other. They're basically both the same height. They're basically both the same width. It's be like a fucking bull rush. You know what I mean? They're gonna be like fucking just running against each other the whole time, like blah 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 blah. Knees to the body, short elbows, and separating, and then jab jab jab. Knees to the body, short elbows, jab jab jab, and that's good.
Yeah, and Chad Mendes will work the footwork and bang with hooks. So the thing is I'm gonna go Volkanovski in this fight. Mostly just off of the layoff from Mendes and the fact that Miles Jury is a perfect style matchup for him. And Volkanovski's just looked really good, but I'm not at all confident. I would say I'm going to probably take Volkanovski TKO in the second off a long exchange where Chad Mendes stays in the pocket too long.
I like it too.
Kind of like a Frankie Edgar kind of exchange where Chad Mendes lands a punch but then eats a clean left. Just because Volkanovski's one of those dudes who will just stand in the pocket and throw with him, and they think that could be trouble for Chad at this point. But man, the confidence level, I'm not real confident in it at all, and for good reason because Chad Mendes right now, according to the odds, is a minus 155 favorite to a plus 125 Alexander Volkanovski, which I feel like sounds about right. I could see it being a little closer, but I definitely see why, just off strength of the schedule alone, Chad Mendes is a clear favorite.
Yeah.
Up next, we got Ilir Latifi taking on Corey Anderson.
Decent 25.
Who, by the way, so I have Volkanovski in one of my fantasy leagues. I also,
by the way,
have Corey Anderson in one of my fantasy leagues.
I haven't adjusted my fantasy league for like a month. Over like 3 weeks.
You're probably not missing out on a ton because I'm murdering this season.
So I'll just say this: I'm gonna pull this up only because I am pretty confident in who I think is gonna win this. Unfortunately, even though I'm probably I don't know who's gonna be right or wrong either way. But,
are you looking for who's available? Because I already have Corey Anderson.
Oh no, not that. I'll say this: I'm taking Ilir Latifi.
Really? I know somebody has it earlier. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm just saying right now.
I got
Ilir Latifi by knockout. Actually, I have.
Really?
I think he's gonna get him in the clinch.
Even though he's moving up.
Yes, I think they're both going to be engaged in the clinch 100%. This will be very competitive early, and I think Ilir Latifi is going to have more strength from some short elbow shot. Is what I got going. It's gonna be like that. Oh, it's not gonna be like OSP, and he gets him in like what was it, the guillotine or the knee? What was it?
Yeah, standing guillotine. What the fuck? I forgot he guillotined the 8 feet taller fighter OSP. Jesus Christ!
By the way,
fucking Elvin St. Preux. I've never picked one of the fights right. I don't think.
By the way, did you see what Gustafsson said?
What's that?
So he said, when
about how
I beat Jones.
I did actually see how Ilir Latifi is messy as fuck and saying how he's going to go up to heavyweight.
But Gustafsson always said, "Hey, motherfucker, once I beat John Jones, bitch, I'm going up to heavyweight and I'm gonna beat Daniel."
I mean, yeah, okay. Everybody real hyped on everything. Ooh, Kyle, your brother's got Volkanovski. I fucks with you, Kyle. I do
That's
too.
not a bad pick.
I like your style on that one. Let's see. So, yeah, like I said, I'm going to take Corey Anderson in this one, mostly because I just think Corey Anderson's a bad style matchup for Ilir Latifi. I think he's a better wrestler. I think he is long enough and able to. The only thing I worry about is him like leaning into something and getting killed with an uppercut or with like a wild shot from Latifi. But outside of that, I think he just decisions the shit out of him cleanly. I think he just outworks him, either stays all the way out or collapses all the way in, puts him on a cage, and puts him on his ass over and
I see
over
that
again.
too. I can see that too 100%.
So that's why I'm leaning Corey Anderson in this one for sure. Corey Anderson does make me nervous, but overall, I think like coming off wins over Patrick Cummins and Glover Teixeira and the way he won those fights, I'm definitely leaning his direction. The only thing that makes me nervous is somehow Ilir Latifi fucking strongman subbed OSP and decision Tyson Pedro. But like also, I don't know. Those dudes are I never picked those dudes fights correctly.
Oh my god, dude!
So.
I'm looking at my fantasy right now. I must have been really high.
Who'd you get?
I have.
We're talking about Mag War.
So for
fantasy
for Noah's dad for the short-term league,
Mm-hmm.
I clearly confidently have Meg Anderson, which
I don't hate that pick. That's an early knockout,
it's
late decision.
Flex. Other than that, I have Ilir Latifi, which I'm going with right now, in the contract, and I have TJ Dillashaw. Whatever, that's besides the point.
Those are a bunch of. Those first two are early knockout, late decision dudes.
And then in our main league, which you're, I think, fucking murdering it. Yeah, you were in first dude. You were up by 20 points.
Goddamn right.
You're murdering it right now.
Shouts out to UFC 231 where I had
I have Curtis motherfucking Melinder. I don't know why I'm Nick Diaz on my team because Diaz brothers never want to fight, so they can go fuck themselves. And as far as fantasy goes, I like it personally, but in fantasy, go fuck yourself. Both Diaz brothers, I gotta get rid of them. Don't know why they're on here. I want to get rid of that. But yeah, I have Curtis Melinder. But anyways, yeah, I have to double check.
So you taking Ilir still?
100%.
That's fair.
I'm confident. Yeah.
See, I would not be confident, but that's because
I've
never picked an Ilir Latifi fight correctly.
I don't think
Actually, I might have taken Ryan Bader over him. That might have been the only one.
That's fair. That's fair. Oh, he knocked the fuck out with the knee.
Yeah. I did not take Ryan Bader via knockout, though. I'll tell you that much. I think I took him via wrestle fucking. But, so let's see. Odds on that one are Ilir Latifi is a minus 150, 150 favorite to a plus 120 Corey Anderson. I'm surprised. I don't know why. I guess just because of the way he has won recently and the way Corey Anderson has looked, but I disagree strongly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll keep on moving on. I love this next fight, even though it makes me sad.
I love and hate this fight, and like you just said, it makes me sad.
Yeah.
So, all this here right now, Carlos Condit, he's a former.
How much do I got on what comment after? Bruh.
What did he say?
He's asking how.
I'm here, amigo.
Oh, how much do we have on Alexander Volkanovski?
Hey, Kyle. I appreciate that you're up in the times.
That's actually a good point.
And that you know that DC gave his belt. So we haven't even mentioned it yet. So Daniel Cormier has been, in my opinion, and yours, the rightful 205-pound light heavyweight champion for the past 3 years. As far as the fact that, and Kyle, you're listening, John Jones has tested positive for steroids. I know Kyle tested this. He has. He gave him his belt, and the fact that he said, fuck being stripped of the belt.
Right.
I think that's fair. So, yes, Kyle.
How much do we have on the Latifi fight? I have a negative amount of money on the Latifi fight. I would never bet that
Kyle,
shit.
If I were to bet money, the most money I bet would be like $20 on Latifi.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now.
If you were gonna put
What
money
money?
If you're
okay, so I think he's a view, right? Did you make
if you're gonna put money, here's what you do. If you're gonna bet Corey Anderson in that fight at a fucking what is he +120 on Bovada, I would put Corey Anderson in a parlay with some other misty shit.
We almost should have Kyle on our podcast as far as like the outlier.
Oh, we'll get Kyle on one of these days. Yeah. I mean, you guys have heard him on the commentaries
yeah.
before
It's hilarious
for all the great movies we watched with Kyle. Like, was it Never Back Down? Was he on that one?
Yeah, and he loved that movie. I was like, "Hey, Kyle, what do you have to say?" And he was like this.
Yeah, no. Kyle's take on that movie was always back down because this shit never goes great in this. Also, I believe Kyle was the one who recommended the. Oh God, doesn't Kyle love the fucking Chuck and Tito movie?
No, Cradle to the Grave.
Cradle to the Grave. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's Rampage and.
You like Cradle to the Grave where he's like, what is he like? He's like.
Fucking Cradle to the Grave. Anyway, Kyle, you're getting us off topic, but we love you, bruh. That's fucking hilarious. Anyway, yeah, Kyle's money is on Anderson. My money is on Anderson as well. But we're gonna.
Kyle, it's all about the Blackstones.
That's right. It's all about anything but the Benjamins. Carlos Condit and Michael Chiesa. Man,
I'll be honest, dude.
I just don't have any faith in Carlos Condit right now.
No. I'll be honest right now. I literally have no faith in Condit as far as
4-fight losing streak. Although it's very high level dudes, Robbie Lawler, Damian Maia.
He looked good early. As good as what you want to take from that against Alex Cowboy, but
he looked okay,
dude. They're pairing up against Chiesa, who was a decent lightweight.
Yeah, and who's got a very strong grappling game. The last two losses are to Pettis and Kevin Lee.
Can we just cut the bullshit? So, who do you got?
Let's cut the bullshit. Yes, I've got Chiesa via sub.
Thank you. I do too. I sure got. I have sub. Thank you. I honestly, if you didn't say that, I would say it too. Chiesa via sub.
I'm gonna go round two.
I think he cuts the less weight. He's a match weight class. He's got the mass. Condit, I feel like it's kind of he. I don't want to say he's fighting for the paycheck because that's bullshit. Everyone fights for money.
I think Condit's going to look good for like the first 3 minutes of this fight, and then I think he's going to start having trouble with Chiesa just walking through shit and initiating awkward clinch exchanges. I think probably he gets the clinch exchange against the cage. Actually, I'm going to go first round sub. I think in an awkward clinch exchange against Cage, Chiesa probably turns the corner, gets his back, and gets an RMC.
Yeah.
Just because I just don't know that Carlos Condit has the speed and the power to sit down on shit enough to back off Michael Chiesa from just walking through shit. Especially Michael Chiesa being up a weight class and always having a pretty decent chin.
Yep.
I think he always just kind of marches dudes down anyway. I think that's just a bad style matchup for Condit at this point in his career.
And Chiesa doesn't really have a bad jab on the inside as far as
he's fine with all of his striking except for his defensive leg and body kicks, thanks to his coach. But I just have zero faith in Condit to be able to sit on the outside against Chiesa for 3 rounds. And I think Chiesa will initiate an awkward clinch exchange by walking through power. And I think he will get the back, especially against Cage. And from there, I think it's tough for Carlos to get that. So, I'm going to take Chiesa sub first round RNC.
I mean, honestly, I agree. I probably think something like
I'd like to be wrong.
I feel like he kind of jab on the outside and kind of just keeps it honest, or he keeps it safe.
Looks like Chiesa is a -160 favorite to +130 Carlos Condit. That's about where I see this fight.
As you can see that I'm nearly falling asleep. Let's get into the fantastic motherfucking co-main event.
That's why I wanted to burn through that. So I am so excited for this fight.
We got motherfucking Chris Cyborg, a.k.a. Chris Jain, Justino versus Manu Nunes. we know.
Also, let it
Chris,
just be said, there's no Inye in the name Nunes, you motherfuckers.
So we have the bullshit where Chris Cyborg is like, oh, well, Brazilians shouldn't fight Brazilians.
Michael Jai White is not fighting on this card, Kyle Madaffer. How dare you, sir? He's asking where Michael Jai White's at.
Oh, you mean whatever his face is from your fact down?
Yeah.
I like
speaking of which, let's get you back on track since one of us might be drunker than the other.
So Chris Cyborg is basically coming out and saying, I don't like to fight Brazilians.
Yeah.
It's just like, dude, what the fuck is that?
Well, that's like...
I get it.
It's a thing.
It's a thing. You're not. It's not like you're gonna say, "Oh, well, Americans shouldn't fight Americans, right, man?" It's like, well,
and also, it's not like Brazil comes from a world of jiu-jitsu dudes not fighting Vale Tudo dudes on the beach with guns. But like, I get it.
So let's ask you: how much does Chris Cyborg, or excuse me, Christian Destino,
you call it Chris Cyborg,
massively outweigh?
She's bigger for sure. She's not that much taller, which is what was interesting to me. Chris is 5'8", that's 5'8", right?
I think they're basically the same.
5'8", right?
Yeah, so she's 5'8".
Amanda Nunes is 5'7". Yeah. They're not that big height difference wise. She just bricked the fuck up.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. So here's the thing: is I've for a long time said Amanda Nunes is going to be, if anybody's going to beat Chris, it's going to be.
I think no. I'll say right now. I think Amanda Nunes to this point is Chris Cyborg's toughest fucking test.
Yeah, well, in the same way Holly Holm was, and the reason why I liked Holly Holm in the fight against Chris was because Holly Holm is good at sticking people against the cage in the clinch. Because that's what not Roxanne Modafferi. That's
my
what
cousin.
That's what
I'm kidding. Clearly
Raquel Pennington did to her.
Yeah.
And since then, Holly's gotten very good in the clinch at doing that. The thing is, Chris's cardio seems to be better than Amanda's at this point in their careers. Like Amanda's cardio is good, but Amanda's cardio is good when she can stay on the outside and pick her in pot shot, like against Valentina for 5 rounds.
Exactly.
Which Valentina will let her do. Chris is not going to let her do that shit.
Yeah, no.
So it's a matter of, like, I think the way to beat Chris is to put her on the cage and let her work.
And that's what I was saying to someone at work. I think you kind of put her up against the cage. I know Chris is kind of used to kind of longer out fighters, someone like a Holly Holm. I don't know the range difference or length difference between someone like Amanda Nunes versus Holly Holm. Yeah. And I feel like Amanda Nunes, she's
definitely like
one kind of more crisp power punches compared to like a Holly Holm instead of like a straight jab, hush, hush, right? I think she's going to put Chris Cyborg against the fence, hit her with some power shots, get her kind of honest, and kind of just go underhooks to the bottom and kind of just disrupt her pace when it comes to the Muay Thai. Because I know Chris Cyborg is very good in the clinch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's the way that Nunes can disrupt her Muay Thai transition is she's gonna excuse me, I can't even speak English. Dig
she's gonna get
She's gonna get. You know.
The only thing that makes you nervous though is Chris has a bigger gas tank, and that takes a lot out of your gas tank putting somebody in the clinch like that.
That's very true.
And that's why I've been very back and forth on this fight. I'm still not convinced how I think this is actually gonna go. Oh man.
I'll just say how I'm feeling, honestly, dude.
Which way are you going?
I gotta go Amanda Nunes.
Really?
Yeah.
Via what?
A decision. I don't think
5-round decision against Chris. Wow.
I like Amanda Nunes. I think what she does, she sticks the outside. She goes like jab to the body.
She has fought better competition too. That's not really arguable at this point.
I don't know. It's just what. Don't get me wrong. If Cyborg wins, I'm just like.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's surprised. Yeah,
but I just really see Amanda Nunes having the cleaner, crisper outside boxing. Just boxing her the fuck up. And it's Cyborg being like, what the fuck is going on? And it's one of those things where it's like she just...
Yeah, the only thing that makes me nervous is Amanda mostly sticks behind the 1-2.
That's true.
And Chris has gotten really good at mixing shit up and reading her opponents, especially over the years. So this is really like, a lot of this comes down to me as to how much does strength of competition compare to strength of finishing ability.
Yeah.
And who makes it longer in the cardio department. A lot of that says I should go with Chris, but I think I got to take Amanda via TKO in the third.
I like that call too.
I just have a feeling that Chris is going to, like, yeah. I'm curious to see what happens if Chris lands a big shot and she starts getting countered with big shots. Because we haven't really seen anybody just sit down on punches against Chris in a way that can actually scare her off. And Amanda Nunes definitely has that speed and power. And you got to imagine she has Mike Brown in the corner, which gives me a lot of confidence.
It's a very good point. I sort of forgot. Does Amanda still have Dean Thomas? Or
she's mostly working with Mike Brown, from what I've heard.
Okay. I remember she did have Dean Thomas.
Early on, but I think, from what I understand, she's most, like, I'm sure Dean still works with her somewhat.
Yeah.
But from what I've heard, it's mostly Mike Brown that she's been working with. Because I think that's who Nina also works with a lot. Even though, because I think Dean works with a lot more of the Brazilian girls.
Yeah.
Like the younger Brazilian girls.
Yeah, exactly.
Or women, I should say. So, I guess I'm taking Amanda via... Yeah, I guess I'm taking Amanda via TKO in the third, but God, am I not confident in that pick at all. At all.
Kyle says, check the chat. Let's see what this motherfucker has to say. Oh, someone else had something to say.
First off, Kyle says, Cyborg says girl, which I hope you don't run into Ray anytime soon, because he's going to get you. He's going to get you. Also, Cyborg is a regular weight class, and Nunes, this is Metsukan from Germany saying Cyborg is in a regular weight class and Nunes had to put on some real weight.
Yeah.
He doesn't know if the gas tank would be enough. Yeah, that's exactly the question I've been having too. That's what makes me the most nervous is Amanda already.
By the way, Kyle, if you're wondering why I'm blinking with one eye, it's because I'm very drunk and I can't really read that. So
for sure. But so I completely agree with you though, dude from Germany. Because the thing is Amanda's cardio has never been great at 35. It's definitely gotten better over the last few fights, but I think a lot of that has just come from her spacing out and choosing her moments rather than just fucking flirting at chicks like she used to against, like the Zagano fight's the perfect example for that. And it does make me very nervous that, like, I think her best way to give Chris problems is to take it deep, and I think that's also going to be a problem for her. That's why I'm winning third round for Amanda, but I think if it goes past the third round, I think Chris has a big advantage in this fight just off cardio alone and the size advantage. So unless it's really just like an all-out brawl, I think Chris...
do you think it's fair that...
If it goes to fourth and fifth, I have Chris for sure.
Do you think it's fair that I have Amanda by 5 rounds? Or in a sense, because it's like...
Well, so that's the thing, though, is she could easily take the first 2, and then the third could be up in the air, or she could take 2, 3, 4.
Because I guess I was kind of leaning towards Amanda taking, like, the last couple rounds.
That's the thing, is I don't
want to say stealing it, because I could see Cyborg.
I don't think...
like...
I think it's very questionable to think Amanda wins the last round of this fight. I think if this comes down to the last round, Cyborg's just going to march forward with hooks. And
I can see that as well.
Oh, I don't know at that point. So I think everybody's guess is as good as anyone else's on this one. Yeah. Who knows if not cutting weight is going to help Amanda or hurt Amanda also. Because she's pretty big for 35, but she's not nearly Cyborg size. So maybe moving up helps her weight. Maybe moving up hinders her cardio in the long run, just because she's carrying more weight around and she's not looking like ultra fucking shredded on the scale or anything. So I think it'll be interesting either way. But goddamn, what a fucking fight!
Yeah.
And then we got. I guess we'll get to the main event. So we should look. Chris Cyborg is a -265 favorite 250 favorite to a plus 195. Amanda
That was
Nunes.
a little too much.
It's a little wide, but like I get it. I for sure get it. Chris hasn't lost a fight since her debut.
Yeah.
And has absolutely dominated everyone that's been put in front of her. So, yeah.
So, this next fight is, you can argue, well, given the circumstances, it's depressing, but given the fucking names, it's one of the most anticipated rematches of the past.
Fingers crossed it's still happening. We haven't heard any terrible news yet.
I think it
Hopefully
is,
John Jones hasn't been busted with hookers yet.
Or steroids or more roids.
Or driven a car into a building at this point.
We'll just say this. John Jones is obviously a phenomenal athlete. I'll just say this. Steroids or not, because we've seen him clean. Wink, wink, the 197. Right? That was his clean fight. Just kidding. We don't really know what his clean fight is, but let's be real. That was a clean fight. So let's flash back to 5 years ago. 2013, UFC 165.
That's how long ago that was?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I feel old.
According to the judges, he defeated Alexander Gustafsson. I'll just say this.
According to this judge,
I'll just say this.
245, dog. 245, dog.
I scored it for Jones. I don't want to say barely, but closely.
Second round was very close.
I'll say this. I think you can justify giving that to Gus the first 3 rounds.
It's the second round is what it comes down to. You can't give him the 4th round just off the fucking beating you put on him.
No matter what, 4 and 5 is Jones. It's just that second round. Who is that?
Well, and to be fair, also, Gus definitely, I think, won the first 4 minutes of that 4th round. Yeah. I just think he got absolutely slobbered on the last minute.
He didn't change course because this is the thing. This is what's ironic to me. If you look at
is this one of those real uses of ironic or the wrong use of ironic?
The real use of ironic in the fact that Gustafsson had a close fight against Daniel Cormier,
right,
who's the actual champ right now,
right,
and that fight was actually closer than this initial John Jones fight.
Oh, for sure.
And that's a real thing.
Yeah.
Because, and I'm dead fucking serious, Gustafsson knocked him down with the fucking knee.
Yeah, that knee was crazy.
And he jabbed fucking with the whole fight. And this is the thing. So, regardless of who wins, I'll just say this. If Jones wins, they're like, okay, Jones is a champ. We already knew that. You know, right? Is he going to fight Daniel Cormier? Probably not, because he relinquished the title.
Oh, I thought you were going to say because he tests positive in a week from now.
No, we already made that statement. I'll say this. John Jones, in my opinion, right now, he's a cheater. I'll say it right now. I don't care. Like, as a podcast, we're supposed to say objective, but
we don't really have to say objective.
Listen to me. We can be subjective in our opinion. In my opinion right now, if you ask me, hey, Chris, what do you think of John Jones? Do you think of his accomplishments? Well, I'll say this.
Great accomplishments.
Great. I'll say this. Regardless of what he's done or what he's taken, he's an absolute fantastic talent.
Yeah.
Absolute fantastic fighter.
One of the best talents we've ever seen.
He's one of the best of all time.
For sure a cheater.
If you ask me, hey, Chris, is he a cheater? Right now, it's in the room. Yes. I'm saying it right now. I truly believe, and I'll say this right now, I truly believe John Jones has taken steroids.
You're saying you're a true believer?
Yeah. And you ask me why. Well, first of all, he's tested positive about twice. This third time is basically 3 times.
Yeah, like 3.5 technically.
What doesn't help is, I remember I said it to my friends, there was a clip from 165 for the build-up when they asked him, hey, John, so by the way, you have 2 brothers in the NFL. Arthur Jones, he was an all-pro offensive lineman for the Indianapolis Colts, and his brother, Chandler Jones, who's 6'7" and way bigger than him. He's currently an all-pro defensive end for the Arizona Cardinals. He's a great football player.
His other brother not in the NFL anymore.
They're like this. Hey, what's the success? What do you attribute to success? And he literally fucking said,
Turinabol?
He said we all took steroids. I can literally pull it up right now and send it to you, our website, anything. John Jones literally said it with zero hesitation. It doesn't matter if he was kidding or not kidding because we don't know that. But the fact that he's tested positive basically 2.5 to 3 times.
Yep.
Like, why would I doubt him?
Well,
Because this dude clearly doesn't care. If you're going to brag that you beat someone after a week of cocaine and smile, why the fuck would I doubt you taking steroids and semi-bragging about that?
right.
You know? Because this is the thing. I'm not that naive. If you're asking me what percent of the UFC, all the fighters, anyone, right, take steroids, if you ask me right now, for me, I'd say 45%.
I would tell you, 40 to 60, depending
To 50. I swear to fucking God. And this is the thing.
Yeah.
Because there's
It
always...
also depends on weight class.
Yeah.
Like,
It's weight class dependent. But the fact of the matter is, as far as science goes, there's always ways... There's always a way that you can cheat the system. That's just how sports is.
Yeah.
Whether it's the Olympics or any sort of sport, especially baseball.
no, I agree. And like,
It's you know what? Is it a black eye on mixed martial arts? Yes.
it's black eye in all sports.
In all sports, even baseball. If you know what's a real baseball?
Any competitive.
Technically, no. You really shouldn't take. I'll be honest. You really shouldn't take steroids in baseball. Like, yes, hit more home runs. It's still fucked up because it's still an advantage. Like, fuck you.
Well,
dude.
in any competitive advantage, people are going to take. Like, look at fucking esports where everybody's meth out of their goddamn board.
Adderall.
Yeah.
Out of their mind.
I mean, same
Like,
thing.
I like
Anybody
this
who's
thing.
done meth and anybody who's done Adderall, they're very similar. I will go ahead and attest to that off record.
Yeah.
This is off the record, by the way, computer. But
Fuck you. Internet.
yeah, fuck you, internet. Dude.
And
But,
by the way, this is where we're previewing the Jones Jefferson fight.
oh, is that what we're doing?
But we're also kind of getting into what we really want to talk about with the drugs, because both you and I have taken a lot of drugs.
Yeah.
For
taken a
science.
drug or two.
For science.
Oh no, for sure. I like to consider myself the dude from
We're guinea
Icarus
pigs.
of this
Yeah.
shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. But no. So the thing is I think what we echoed on last week's podcast that Eugene S. Robinson said is absolutely the way to view this. Either he was dirty then, and he's not dirty now, or he's dirty now and he was not dirty then. But either way, he's doing something.
It's like, dude, you've tested
Well, and it's not
some sort of positive.
Well,
I'm not saying you've tested positive as fuck positive both times, but if you tested some sort of positive 2 different times, and this is the motherfucking 3rd time, dude, there's no way I can believe you. I'm so sorry.
Well, and something that Eugene brought up, which I thought was a good point, is that you can use oral triminabol
yes.
through a needle by putting it in an oil. Like, you can inject oral triminabol, in which case it affects your system differently.
Yeah.
So just because it is oral triminabol doesn't necessarily mean you're taking it orally. Because you can put it in an oil, I forget what it's called, but it's when it sits in an oil. It's see, you guys can tell how many
like some sort of state. What's it? Not a state.
Yeah, no. It's yes, exactly.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
It doesn't think that word.
It's not stasis, but it's
God
something.
damn it! Like I'm scratching my head.
I keep trying to say substance and stasis and
fuck. What's that called?
Sustenance. It's you put it in a. It's like an IV. I don't know. Anyway, the point is we should just get to our picks for this since we've gone way long.
I'll play spoiler.
You got John Jones, you got Alex.
I'll say this.
And what method? Because I'm gonna have to review all this and
say
actually write down our picks.
I'll say this. I believe.
Just say it.
I believe Alexander Gustafsson has what it takes to win.
You think so?
If he wins, I'm not surprised.
Motherfuckers.
Unfortunately, I think John Jones wins this fight, regardless if he's clean or not. Because this is the thing. If he wins, and then it comes out that he popped for steroids, I'm not surprised, 100%. Like, I'm just like, okay, like, we all knew that. I'll be honest, like, I'm like, we all knew that. Like, fuck you, you cunt. Like, I'm telling you right now, like, whatever.
Right.
You won, but you cheated. Whatever. You know, if he wins and he pops clean, it's because we already know he's talented. Because regardless, with using steroids, you still have to perform. That's how baseball works. That's anything works. If John Jones wins and he pops clean, it's because he's a better fighter. And don't get me wrong, John Jones still has to perform, regardless of the steroids.
For sure.
My honest opinion is I really do think John Jones wins this fight.
What method? Decision?
I think it was a decision.
I think it was a decision.
Just like the first fight. However, I think it's going to be split. And I know you go, fuck you. No. You know how the first fight was unanimous?
No,
the first fight should have been split. I'm sorry. That was it was
real close.
I'll say this. It's fucked up. This is the thing. If it's unanimous, it's going to be towards the latter rounds where it's like someone gets knocked down or it's like you're getting pieced on. If it's split, it's going to be this. It's going to be where John Jones like pieces up Gus for like the first 2 to 3.5 rounds, but the last fucking 2 rounds, like Gus fucks him up, knocks him down, and like whoa, and then fucking Joe. This is the thing. I wouldn't be surprised. I think it's going to be a very close. I think it's going to be like the Dominic Cruz TJ Dillashaw fight, where you can justify both winners.
I can see that,
and I can really see where it's like if Gustafsson wins and he's the legit champ, you're like, that's a good call.
Yeah.
But then it's like where it's like, oh, you can give Jones the win. It's like, well, that's fine too, you know?
Yeah.
Because that was like one of those fights where it's like it's so close and everything's so evened out. You're like, well, man.
Yeah. So,
I don't know. I'm not trying to be unfair. This is the thing. And I don't. It's weird. And
everybody, by the way, the drinking game is every time Chris says this is the thing, you take a drink.
And the only reason why I say that is because everyone else is thinking too. Well, is Jones on steroids in this fight? And the fact I say this is the thing is because if he's not on steroids, does that justify just easily saying, oh, then that means Gustafsson wins by default? You know?
I don't think
Not necessarily. And that's why I'm saying this is the thing.
Yeah.
And this is the thing. All of this.
That's 4 drinks in the last 2 minutes.
That's just an outlier of me trying to predicate who's going to win this fight. And
yeah, you got. So you're leaning John?
I'm leaning John Jones. As much as I don't want to, on a personal level, I think he wins this fight via decision. I don't think either of them will knock each other out. They're both so tough, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, Gustafsson almost knocked out DC. And this is the thing. Like I said again, I feel like Gustafsson almost has a better chance against DC.
Your brother is so fucked up right now from taking a drink every time he says already drunk.
What does he say?
He says he's already drunk from that drinking game that we started 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, Chris, sure. Don't get me wrong, I am too, Kyle. It's kind of, I'm trying to wrap my head around this thing, you know? Because this is basically the biggest fight of the year. We did the Conor versus Khabib fight. Both you and I, picked Khabib, I think?
Go ahead, baby.
Yeah.
I was actually waffling towards the end, but
no,
I guess I
don't get me wrong. Like,
I always pick the wrestler.
I'll say this. Both of you are like, hey, Conor can knock him out. Yes, right? But both of you are like, oh, Khabib by grapple fuck.
I almost always
do you see why I'm trying to kind of straddle towards the end? And this is why I keep saying this is the thing. And the only reason I kept saying this is the thing for the millionth fucking time is because either Jones wins via USADA, right? Which is a decision.
Okay.
Or Gus wins via righteousness and I beat him round to round. And the way I think it's gonna play out is if Jones wins, say he doesn't pop for steroids after he wins.
Okay,
right? After he wins.
Okay, because I was like way too bro.
So say he doesn't pop. Do you think he fights DC? I don't think he does. I think what happens is he fights a heavyweight guy.
So
I think he goes him weight.
I think he 100% fights DC because I think Brock Lesnar fights off.
But he fights him at heavyweight, right?
Yeah. Because I think the Brock Lesnar fights off.
How do you think that goes? Do you think it's the advantage of where do you go up and weight you gain the advantage? Or do you think DC has an advantage?
I think Alexander Gustafsson wins this fight is what I think.
Okay.
And you get Alex versus DC at heavyweight.
And I like that timeline. And you know what?
However,
you're absolutely right.
So 2 things made me nervous about this fight. This is the thing, as Chris would say. Sorry, Kyle. So here's the thing. This is the thing. I'm really trying to get Kyle hammered at this point.
Say it. Who gives what?
So this is what I see going down.
This is what's happening. Is what you guys say. Yes, that's the point.
Yeah, this is the thing. So funny to me. Anyway, so 2 things on rewatch of that fight make me nervous about Gus's chances in it, and it's mostly that John Jones was starting to figure out that if he throws big looping shots over the top of Gustafsson's straight punches, he was starting to land a little bit, and more importantly, he landed a fuckload of head kicks in that fight. And John has gotten much sharper with his kicking game since then, especially to the head, as seen in the DC fight. And it makes me very nervous that even if Gustafsson is blocking all those head kicks, because John Jones threw a fuckload of head kicks in that first fight.
He did.
Gus was blocking them, but a lot of them he was blocking with one hand rather than 2.
Yeah.
And a lot of them were still, that still fucking chews up your arms. And John was working the body and legs hard consistently throughout that whole fight, which makes me nervous. However, Gus had really good opportunities in the in-between. So rather than being all the way outside, and I believe Conor Rebush mentioned this on Heavy Hands this week, or I believe it was Heavy Hands, John has really good success all the way out on the outside or all the way in on the inside. But that in-between range, he's not great at collapsing that distance, apart from just zombie walking his way through it and throwing elbows or knees and shit over the top. So it makes me curious to see, because Gus found a lot of success in staying all the way out when John was trying to close the distance. He'd grab a single collar, bang some uppercuts, and throw some nasty 3-2s and stay long. He also had found a lot of success with his jab and actually did pretty well with leg kicks as well. I think if Gus is able to stay on the outside and force John into an outside striking battle, I think that's his best advantage in this fight. However, those head kicks make me very fucking nervous because a lot of those landed, and John has not gotten less accurate or less powerful with any of his kicks over his last couple fights.
100%.
So I think I'm going to take Gus via decision. Actually, I think I'm going to take Gus via 4th round TKO.
I like it.
He looked great
late
up until the point where Jones landed that elbow.
So my question is, I know you mentioned Gus going to heavyweight. So as far as the light heavyweight shit goes, who the fuck would Gus fight next? Because literally TP already said I'm going to heavyweight. So as far as fucked up as heavyweight goes, what happens there? Say Gus wins, and don't get me wrong.
If Corey Anderson wins, probably they'll make that fight just for easy money.
Yeah.
Or they'll do
That's a good point. Who the fuck else wins it?
You could do fucking what's the young dude who's killing people named Dominic?
Dominic Reyes?
Yes. Dominic Reyes has been looking like a monster. Anthony fucking Smith is probably number one.
He'd be next.
Anthony Smith versus Gus would be such a dope fight. That would be great to see.
So
I'd like to see Anthony Smith get the light heavyweight shot either way.
And I agree.
Or Thiago Santos.
I agree 100%. If Gus beats Jones, he fights DC heavyweight. They'll do that.
I think either way, right? The winner could get
I know
DC.
Stipe is presenting match.
Stipe.
He does. But
no,
Dana,
they're gonna fuck Stipe.
Will be like, Gus, let's go. He'll fight DC.
Yeah.
And guess what? say Gus wins. Fuck it, who knows? I think DC retires as great as because DC already has a legacy. It doesn't matter. If Gus wins, Gus then becomes one of the greatest of all time because now you're champ. You're the fucking heavyweight champ.
That'd be crazy.
And
Gus has.
And guess what he does? He fights Stipe next. That's when Stipe gets his fight. 100%.
I think DC is trouble for Gus at heavyweight though.
Oh, he is. No, yeah. This is the thing. Like Gus is a big boy. There's even like Ngannou is not a fun fight because
Ngannou has a lot of Anthony Johnson.
Because Gus has good wrestling,
but also Ngannou has a lot of Anthony Johnson in him, which did not work out well for Gus.
Even has more Anthony Johnson. Like, come on.
No, I think Anthony Johnson's a much better kickboxer than.
No. What I'm saying, like, is the fact that Ngannou hits hard.
Oh, he hits harder, but he throws way slower.
No. Oh, I know. No. I don't disagree with that. Yeah,
that's what made Rumble so scary is because he had that Henry Hoof kickboxing, but he just threw murder hooks every time. Yeah. Whereas Ngannou just throws chaos. Like he threw. To be fair, he did kill. Was it Curtis Blade? No, it was other.
He murdered
Alistair Overeem that he murdered with the fucking Tyson or the Deontay Wilder right hand left hook combo. When you rewatch that, watch those back to back. They're real similar. Well, that's what I mean. It's like a shovel. It's a giant overhand right to like a shovel uppercut left, where they're just like, oh, I know your head's going that direction because that's the direction I smashed it.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna smash the other direction and hope it works out. But
yeah, I think I said before.
What are the odds? I'm curious what the odds are like right now.
If I had to guess, it's minus like 280 Jones from what I remember last
Looks
time.
like as of right now, minus 300 John Jones, plus 230 Alex Gustafsson.
Yeah, I have. Honestly, if I had to put money, I think Gus will win this fight. I don't care.
Really? Because you picked John Jones in our picks.
I know I did. This is the thing.
Oh. Wait, is that another drink?
No. So, I mean, we can. This is the thing. This is the thing. I'm going to be like Joe Rogan from on the fence. So, this is it. Fuck. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Hey, you guys, I think I'm about to fuck Chris up with these double IPAs and that giant barrel aged beer.
But did you realize how difficult this fight is to pick?
Oh, 100%. I have zero confidence.
Out of the entire fucking calendar year, how difficult it is to pick this fight?
Hardest. Really? Overall, I would say this is the hardest main and co-main to pick all fucking year.
No, yeah. And I would keep saying this thing. It's like, shut up, cunt. Why do you keep saying this is the thing? Well, it's a motherfucker. It's hard to pick. So.
All right. Well, we will go ahead and wrap this here.
Yeah.
Because Chris's brother is so lit in the chat from him saying this is the thing that
what's he saying?
He said he's lit. So we are going to go ahead and wrap this up here. But this has been fun as hell.
Yeah.
We will be doing video here off and on. It'll be way less chaotic than our fucking high ass quality.
Don't flip flop now, boy.
Exactly.
Hey, I'll be like Mark Hunt. How about you fuck right off, bitch?
Wow.
Yeah.
We got some battle. We got some brother on brother battles happening in the chat right now.
Hey, how about you fuck right off, bitch? Happy New Year steroid.
Boy.
Happy New Year steroid junkie cunt.
Happy New Year's steroid junkie cunt. Well, we'll go ahead and wrap this episode here. That's a good outro.
By the way, did I text you would Mark Hunt reply to John Jones?
I believe
John Jones actually replied to Mark Hunt. It was probably the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was a shit show for sure. But we'll go ahead and wrap this here. Like we said.
Oh yeah, he said oink oink motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we will go ahead and wrap this here. I'm gonna try again to close this bitch out. Like I mentioned, we're not gonna be in my weird fucking setup that I did 10 minutes before we started. I will actually be in front of a computer since Chris and I will be over Skype most of the time. So it'll be more up close and personal experience. I'll get my all my Connor Rebush references ready and I'll get that Zane Simon haircut going. I'm not gonna do that. I'm too fat to rock that. And we will be back next week.
Yeah, it should be next week.
I think. I don't think there's a card next week, actually.
Let's find out.
Well, we're gonna figure it out off air because
we'll let you guys know.
Well, so the thing is Chris and I are gonna have our Sound of Violence or our Sound of Violence podcast awards that we do every year.
Oh yes.
So we're gonna have that coming up. I think that's gonna be next weekend, but I ain't checked the calendar because I don't remember when. With all these cards moving around, I don't remember when.
Yeah, the next card is February 9th, so we got a week off.
No, there's a card in January. I don't remember where it is in January, but there is a card in January. I think it's the third week, I want to say. Also, Kyle Madaffer, the couch casting is going to happen after we get off air. I don't know if you've ever seen Brian Redband's drunk cast, but it's like that. Chris going to get pregnant after this.
Heard.
All right, we're going to go and wrap this here. As always, you guys can hit us up. TSOV Pod on Twitter. Send us an email, thesoundofviolence@gmail.com. Leave us a rating on iTunes. We appreciate it. Thank you for joining us for our 100th official episode. It's been fun. It's been a long run. We're way over 100 episodes technically, but for our official podcast related episodes, which this one barely we got our podcast picks in for. I'm glad we made it this far, and I hope we make another 100. So we'll go ahead and wrap this. But Chris, anything you want to say to the people, including your brother, who's talking shit in chat?
Yeah, well, it's my brother, so it's cute. That's
he's adorable.
He's adorable.
Yeah, he's
thank you, Kyle. Emojis.
I owe you a bowl, Kyle.
I'm officially leaving my regular job, and
that's right.
100 full front, putting 100% effort into this podcast.
Moving on up.
I know you've always been saying, "Oh, pussy, why are you gonna be real honest?" No.
Everybody always been saying that. They're like, "Hey, pussy."
No one's really been saying that, but some people think that.
Yeah. John Jones is the only one.
Yeah, because he's a kind. Well, he'll beat my ass, but whatever. I realize that. In any sense, I'm actually stepping away from my regular job.
Also, shouts out to oh God, you know what? I'm gonna Mezikon, send us an email, SOVpod.
Mezikon, you're a good motherfucker.
Yeah, you've been cool as shit.
Fuck
Hit us up. We'll let us know if any podcasts we're sleeping on.
And Kyle, you know what? You can join us anytime. So let me know.
That's right.
An announcement. I'm leaving my regular job. I am pursuing my regular interest that I'm good at, which is journalism. I'm bringing
SDSU alum. He's like a young Josh Gross over here.
New original content to the Sound of Violence, right? It's going to be to the website. You're going to be, we are going to be tweeting it out. Yeah. You're better at tweeting it out than me.
Yeah, I'm not better at the writing, I'm better at the jokes.
You're better at the promoting. But in any sense, we're going to have a lot of fun stuff going out.
Definitely. Hopefully we'll be covering some local cards here before too long, too, like the Epic Fighting cards down at 4 Points in
Sarasota Aerodrome, Claremont /
love those shows. And hey, who knows? Maybe we'll make it out to some of the Bellator shows at Temecula and shit.
Fuck like Pachanga, whatever they got called.
Yeah, wherever the fuck they are nowadays. So.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm down, dude. This could be fun, man. I'm looking forward to 2019.
Yeah.
In all honesty, I think it's going to be a really fun year, especially for MMA.
For sure.
We just pray that Dana White and the UFC kind of keep everything kind of level-headed.
Hopefully they don't burn this motherfucker to the ground.
And guess what? Last time the UFC was in San Diego was, 3.5 years ago? Bring that shit back!
That's right. Oh, also, I think we tweeted out, the last time they were in town, it was like fucking, was it Tony Ferguson?
Okay, it was Tony Ferguson, Frank Mir, Todd Duffy, Josh Thompson, Kevin Lee, Holly Holm, Marino, fuck.
Sarah Marias.
There's so many
Jessica Andrade.
Fuck.
Like a bunch of killers and title contenders. So
yeah.
It's been a while. Hey, UFC, come back. Your boys
Happy New Year, Kyle. You have to goddamn.
That's right. Happy New Year. Thank you, Kyle and Dapper, for pointing it out.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna wrap this here, but until next time, everybody, go do something decadent. We out. Bye. Oh God, I have to.